Golf Central on YouTube is brought to you by the new Chrome Tour golf ball from Callaway.
And coming to us live from Augusta, Georgia, as she gets ready for her third appearance at the Augusta National Women's Amateur. Happy to welcome Rachel Heck into the show. And Rachel, you are one of the quote-unquote veterans of this event. What have you learned from your first two starts, and how could that help you this year?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me. I've learned that it takes a lot of patience. I've learned that at this point in the week, there's no point in thinking about playing on that Saturday. We just got to focus on the task at hand, which right now is Champions Retreat, which is an absolutely incredible track, but it is extremely difficult, and it does take a whole lot of patience. So that's kind of my mindset right now. What makes Champions Retreat such a challenge in its own right? Yeah, so it always plays very long and very firm greens. So we're coming into these par fours with long irons, trying to find a good place to land it where we'll actually hold the green. There's usually some type of weather situation always, which makes it a little more challenging. And I mean, also just knowing that if you play well, you get to play Augusta on Saturday, I think is probably the biggest mental challenge of it all. And it's such an atypical week. Twice you have made it to that final round at Augusta National, but then you have to shift your focus and prepare for a second course. How much of a challenge is that? It's definitely a little bizarre, definitely different to stop mid-tournament, play a practice round, but I think it can be a good thing, just a little bit of a reset where you're going to that last round pretty fresh. It almost just feels like a new tournament that day. As we've seen before, absolutely anything can happen at Augusta National, so it almost feels like a new start. You've gotten to live every golfer's dream with that drive down Magnolia Lane. Take me through the memories and the experience that first time you made the drive down Magnolia Lane to play in competition at Augusta National. I mean, it's just surreal, and it doesn't get any less surreal. But I mean, that first time, it's just it doesn't feel real. I grew up watching the Masters with my dad on TV, and I never seen a female play it. So driving down Magnolia Drive, knowing that like I'm coming here to compete in the final round of a huge championship, it's just it doesn't feel real. It's incredible. Let's put on your golf analyst hat for a second. Oh, no. You've competed against much of this field before in the Augusta National Women's Amateur or during your college career at Stanford. Can you give me a short list of names that are on your radar as players that could potentially be in contention for that final round? Oh, yeah, I have a few good ones. Sadie Engelman, Megha Ganne, Paula Martin, Kelly Zhu. You're my teammates, if you haven't noticed. But they're awesome. And those are the people who will be there at the end of the final groups on Sunday or Saturday. Well done. All right, I'll give you a golf clap on that. What does it mean for young women to have the opportunity to play at Augusta National? It's really just a privilege, and shows how far that women's golf has come and women's sports in general, that we're given this stage that most of us, almost all of us, grew up watching, thinking that we would never have that kind of opportunity. So it just shows that women's sports are getting the recognition that they deserve. There's so many talented females, and I have so many people. Everyone wants to see Augusta. Everyone watches this, and so many people after are like, wow, y'all are really good. Like, I know that, and I've been knowing that. So it's cool that the world gets to see how talented these women are on the biggest stage and one of the most iconic courses, if not the most iconic course of history. There's a pretty iconic photo from the Masters last year of you and your former teammate Rose Zhang sitting in the gallery. And, oh, by the way, fellow Stanford Cardinal, Tiger Woods just pops by to say hello. You've met Tiger several times. What have you learned from him over the years? Just perseverance, really. I've dealt with my own injuries, being out last year, having surgery, but nothing on the scale that he has. And every time he seems to come back and do incredible things. So that really keeps me going. It's disheartening to keep being out with surgery or illness, but seeing what he's done after that, it shows me that I can do the same. And you and Tiger both won individual championships at Stanford. You had such an amazing start to your college career. You talk about the injuries you've had to deal with. How have you been able to take the highs with the lows during your time playing for Stanford? Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the moment, like caught up in the really big highs and then feel really down with the lows. But I try to take a step back and look at it all holistically, like, wow, what incredible experience I've had. Even the lows have taught me so much, and growing up, I dreamed about winning a national championship. I'd watch Stanford on TV every year saying, like, that's going to be me. And so that's what I'm going to remember when I'm, have kids and I'll get to show them the videos of that. Like, the lows aren't really going to matter that much. I'm gonna be like, that was Mom. I won a national championship with my friends, and those are the memories I'm gonna take with me. So that's just kind of how I see it, especially as I'm winding down my Stanford career. Like, I don't remember all the bad stuff that happened. I'm gonna forget about that. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna take the highs and remember those forever.
You talk about winding down your Stanford career. You made some news last week, publishing an article on No Laying Up saying that you were going to forego turning pro after the conclusion of your college career. What went into that decision, and was it a tough one to make?
It was an extremely tough decision to make, one I've been thinking about for a few years now. I think I kind of realized maybe my sophomore year, even earlier than that maybe professional golf wasn't for me, just the lifestyle of it. There are other things I'm interested in, and if I played professional golf, like, that would be it. So I think it was hard to come to terms with what I want versus what maybe I'm expected to do, or what I was expecting myself to do, which was play professional golf. But it took a lot of soul searching. I think it took some time away from the game also to realize that there's so much more to life than golf. So I think golf has just been the most incredible stepping stone. I'm so blessed for everything that it's given me, and I can't wait to take it into the rest of my life, just not in professional form.
What would you like the next chapter to be?
I would like it to be a lot like Stu Hagestad. He's one of my good friends, and I've talked to him a lot about this decision. But, I mean, he's living the life. He has a normal job. He loves his job, and he just gets so excited to compete. He says that competing is, like, such a privilege now, and I think it's easy to take this stuff for granted sometimes. We're playing these beautiful courses, and we're traveling each week, but sometimes it's just tiring, and you just want to rest. So I'm excited to just be so excited to compete again, for that to be something I've marked on the calendar, and I'm practicing toward, and I'm looking forward to. So ideally, that's what the next chapter will look like.
Yeah, in my next life, I wouldn't mind coming back as Stuart Hedges said either. He's got a pretty good run that he's put together as a high-level amateur on the men's side. For you, on top of being a senior at Stanford, one of the country's best universities from both an athletics and academic standpoint, and playing golf at a high level, you're also a proud member of the Air Force ROTC program. What have you learned about yourself through that experience?
Yeah, it's been that's been a whole experience in and of itself where I've learned so much. I've learned that push through a lot, that I can handle more than I thought I could. I signed up for ROTC kind of on a whim, thinking that it would be a good addition to have to golf, something that I love besides golf. And I didn't really think I'd be able to finish it. I thought maybe I'd do it for a year, see if it's something I want to do later in life. But I decided I loved it so much and I was going to make it work. So it takes a lot to balance that with golf and academics and the training itself, like going to field training last summer after surgery. It's more of a mental challenge than anything else. It really forces you to dig deep. And I'm really blessed for all the lessons it's taught me, and I'm super excited to commission in June.
Amazing. And before then, you got a busy couple months when it comes to the Augusta National Women's Amateur this week, and then what's ahead for the Stanford Cardinal, the top-ranked team in the women's game, going for a team national championship. What's this final run going to be like these last 2 months as you wind down your college career?
Yeah, it's going to be, hopefully it'll be playing, first of all. I've played a really limited schedule in the winter, just trying to save my shoulder and my body for postseason. So first of all, hopefully it's that. But I don't know, it's going to be a lot of just soaking it in, smelling the roses, and reflecting on what a crazy few years it's been. I can't believe I'm already a senior graduating. Freshman year feels like yesterday. So as it comes to a close, I'm just going to try to take a step back and enjoy every second of it.
Well, hopefully you're smelling the azaleas for the final round on Saturday. The Augusta National Women's Amateur. Play well this week.
Thank you so much.